Clayton Visual Arts November Meet the Artist Reception. This month we are featuring artwork by photographer Barbara Blaisdell and oil painter Vicki Rees. And I'm standing here now with Vicki Rees. Vicki, will you start off telling us a little bit about where you're from and how you got your start as an artist?
Actually, I'm originally from Indianapolis, and I took art lessons when I was a child, and then kind of gave it up for about 30-some years while I pursued a career. And then as I was beginning to approach retirement age, I decided that I needed something to do while I was retired and got back into painting.
Have you always painted in oils?
Yes, I don't have the talent to do watercolors because I need a very forgiving medium, not like you. And pastels are, I did pastels for a while, but that's not really my thing either.
Okay, so looking at this delicious exhibit you have, people might think you only do edible items, but you have a pretty broad repertoire.
I do. I should say, something profound about why I painted this food, but really I just like food, and I think it's pretty. But I also do, my husband and I go around Lake Johnson about maybe 5 times a week, and he takes photographs, and so I do a lot of nature paintings based on his photography. And recently I started getting into some more urban type landscapes. But yeah, the food, I should say something about locavore and holistic living, but really I just like food and I think it's pretty.
Well, you do have a connection with a source for your bakery items. You tell us a little bit about that, the bakery where you get some of your pies to paint.
Actually, I get inspired over at the Fresh Market, looking in their bakery case. I don't often, I really don't even like pie. I hate to say that. I really don't even like pie, but I think it's beautiful, and I think cupcakes are beautiful, but I really don't eat them. I just admire them.
Vicki has a gorgeous studio, just some envy of your studio. Do you paint every day?
I try to. Before we put in the studio, I was in the dungeon, as I like to say, where there was one tiny window that was covered in plastic, and it was not heated, it was not air conditioned, it was not plumbed, and I still manage to paint just about every day. But now it's a pleasure to paint. I don't feel like I'm going down to the salt mines.
And you are involved with a lot of exhibits, always having your work somewhere. Where else could we see your work right now?
Well, as a matter of fact, it's at Tipping Paint Gallery. It's also at 311 Gallery on West Martin Street. Just came out of Visual Art Exchange, and I have one piece at the Litmus Gallery, which is just around the corner from Visual Art Exchange.
Okay. And where could people find your art online?
My website is VLRees, that's VLREES.com, and that website shows a lot of my paintings, and there's also a link to a different website that will have prints available and of some items, and also some greeting cards and that kind of thing.
Okay, great. Thanks so much for exhibiting with us, Vicki.
Thank you for having me.
This is Barbara Blaisdell, and she's our photographer exhibiting with us this month. Barbara, tell us about how you got your start as a photographer.
Wow, that was a long time ago. I've always taken pictures. I mean, my kids had stopped going like this after a while because they gave up on me because they knew I was going to take pictures all the time. Anytime we went anywhere, I took pictures. But what happened was I got really serious at one point, and I started taking some classes, and that really made the difference in terms of my photography and improving it and really getting me on the way to becoming a little bit more professional than I was and taking it totally seriously. And I've been doing a lot of traveling too in order to be able to, enhance my photography. So, but
Well, you have Iceland and Africa represented here, is
right.
that correct?
Iceland and Namibia.
Namibia.
Which is it's just north of South Africa, is where it is in Africa. But yeah.
Where else have you traveled?
I've been to China, been to Peru, of course Mexico and Canada, all over the United States and Alaska. I'm trying to think out of the country. That's pretty much Costa Rica. That's pretty much it. I'm headed to Iceland in February, and then I'm going to be going to Tuscany in Italy in May of next year. So I'll be doing some traveling, and then I've been looking at, I don't know that I'll do this, but Mongolia at the end of September next year. I've been reading all about Genghis Khan and Kublai Khan, and this friend of mine told me about this photography trip to Mongolia where they fly the golden eagles. So I don't know. That's a possibility.
Well, Barbara, is this work just for you to sell, or do you do commission photography?
I will do commissions. I sell. I have a spot at the Cotton Company in Wake Forest, and I do exhibits all over the Southeast like this, or I'll do pieces here and there that I get juried in. I sell pieces online. It just depends. I do a lot of volunteer stuff as well. I just love to do it. And
So you teach?
I teach a couple of classes at Pullen Arts in Raleigh. Teach photography classes there, and I just love it. I love to share it. I love to do it. I love to teach it. So, it's just a lot of fun for me. So.
I'm fascinated by the Namibia piece with the photographer in the center, because that looks like a painting rather than a photograph. Is that altered in some way? Or
No. That's all sand. Those are sand dunes. She's in the middle. It's a place called Sosavai, and she's in a place called Deadvlei. And you have to. I really had. I studied for this part of it. I mean, I was working out so I could climb the sand dunes because I knew they were going to be steep. You have to climb these huge sand dunes to get down into this valley, and all the trees in there are dead trees, and they've been preserved for thousands of years because it's so dry in the desert, nothing gets to them. And so all behind her is just sand, huge monster sand dunes, and then sand on the ground. And I just like the perspective of having her in there to see the trees, and that's why I did that picture that way. Now the other one, there's another one down there which is just a tree, and the background is just sand. We wait till the sun hits the sand dunes, and then they all turn orange, and it's just amazing, the color. So,
have you had any interesting encounters with any of the animal photography we've done?
Not really. I just did some bear photography up in Orr, Minnesota, where you actually go on, you're actually there with the bears. I mean, they're as close as you are to me. It's a sanctuary up in Minnesota where the bears come in. They know they've been doing it for 50 years, and they come in every year and they feed them, and they come in with their cubs. And I mean, they're wild bears. And the minute they leave and go back into the woods, they're wild bears. But as long as you give them their way, and if they come along, you just kind of step back and let them go, you can take pictures all day long, and it's great. But no, I've never really had any problems with wild animals, really.
Wow, sounds very exciting. And also, I'm fascinated by the piece, the doorway piece with the sand.
Oh, that is called Coleman Scope, and it is an abandoned diamond mining town. It was abandoned back in the 50s. And they had hospitals, they had bars, they had barracks, they had schools. And when they abandoned it in the 50s, the sand took over. And you walk through it, and sometimes you have to climb through broken windows or broken doors. You'll go down a hallway, and it's covered with sand. You can't go any further. It's the strangest, eeriest place I've ever been, and I would love to go back there. But it's fascinating. It really is.
Wow. It's amazing.
And that's in Namibia as well. Namibia is a pretty diverse country,
Yeah.
so anyway.
That's great. Well, we thank you so much
Okay.
for being here, and we know you have your work on Fine Art America, and I encourage everyone to look. You can see lots more of her work there.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
So thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, too. I appreciate it. Thank you for letting me exhibit my
Well,
work.
It's an honor having this quality
Okay.
work. Thank you. You don't want to miss Clayton Visual Arts Christmas in Clayton Art and Home Tour. It's coming up December 6th from 3 to 7 p.m. We have 6 homes in downtown Clayton that are going to be part of the tour. There's also going to be a Christmas in Clayton special at Manning's Restaurant. Tickets are only $10, and all the ticket sales are going to support art programs in public schools. You can purchase your tickets at the Hillcutt Ellington Memorial Library from any CVA member, or you can go to our website and make your purchases through PayPal. Next month's exhibit will be featuring artwork from Lori Ann Martin and Phyllis Harvey. Hope to see you there.